I could sell my business right now for easily over $1 million, but I don't.
What? To who? To who, you fucking moron? Put down the Everclear, bro. Okay, like, how drunk did I have to be to think that my business circa 2014 could have been sold for $1 million? I couldn't sell this business for $1 million now. Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day. So recently somebody messaged me with links to a couple of my old videos with some comments on them, and I'll be honest, the moment I clicked it, I was just like, oh, I was thinking, oh God, I thought I unlisted this stuff. I can't believe this crap is still public. They're so bad. Don't go through my back catalog. It is really horrible. So I thought I would watch one of these videos that I was linked to, and yeah, why not? So I'm 34 years old now. I started making YouTube videos when I was 23, so that's been 11 years. And this video that I'm looking at now is about 9 years oldish, so I thought I would look back on my old stuff and get an idea. So this is iCracked.com steals your success. Don't become an iTech. So what is iCracked even? iCracked is a company that started around the era of, the whole zero, virtually no interest rates thing, back when anybody with an Asperger's score that's 25 or 50% less than mine should have been able to charm somebody into getting a business loan or somebody to invest in the first round of their startup. And what they did is they had a website where you could find a technician in your area that would be able to fix your phone, and people would sign up to be listed on this website. And in order to be listed on the website, you would have to buy the parts through them. So one of the things that drove me nuts about them is they were using the same supplier I was, and often the supplier that I was using would tell me that they could not supply me parts because iCracked placed an order for 10,000 or 20,000 or 30,000 of this, that, or the other. So I was already kind of on I was already a little aggravated that they existed, I'll be honest with you, at the time that I made this particular video, because they were essentially getting people to sign up, get rid of their own company branding, use iCracked branding, buy Jack Telecom parts through them, and I just didn't see the value add. And what I find interesting is my complete lack of ability to get my point across like an insane human being. If you think I'm insane now at 34, me at 26 was... Yeah, so many things that are wrong with this. Where to even begin? The ripped up acoustic panel that I could have very easily replaced, that this thing literally cost $30, and I just let it sit there, completely destroyed forever. Doesn't look like we've learned much on that account. You have the little crazy XFCE mouse on the 720p plasma TV sitting on a subwoofer. You have the shirt that doesn't fit, that is buttoned all the way up for a reason I don't understand. And above all, in spite of the fact that I had more hair back then, for some reason, I seem like I'm balding then more than I am now. It's so weird. Anyway, I will start the video.
Hi, today I'd like to discuss why I dislike iCracked. There are several reasons. The first one, if you watch my Groupon video, you'll understand that I dislike when people focus on a company for growing. I don't care if a company grows. If a company gets a $500,000 business loan and happens to do $100,000 of cool shit with it, that's not cool to me. I don't look at the cool stuff that they've done. I look at what they spent and what they borrowed to do that cool shit, and I judge them accordingly. And repeatedly, this is a company that spends money in order to make a little less than what they spent.
So this was me screaming and raging over the fact that you have so many startups that's like they show the cool stuff they're doing, but they spent more money doing the cool stuff than the actual cool stuff that they produced. And for about a good 10 years, I think, in the United States, and perhaps all across the world ever since 2008, you had this weird trend of people chasing returns by trying to chase riskier and riskier investments because interest rates were so low. So again, as I said, virtually anybody with an Asperger's or autism score lower than mine was usually able to charm their way into a significant amount of fundraising in spite of the fact that their company may have not made money. The problem here again is, why can't I just talk into a microphone, into a camera like a normal person? Why do I have to play Galdowski Volume 10 at almost full volume and then do the video while playing copyrighted music in the background and then scream over the copyrighted music to get my point across while sitting on the back of a couch? Like, why?
And this is not impressive to me. I don't give a fuck that you got $500,000 or $250,000 or $1 million in loans and this is what you did with it. What impresses me is when you create something out of nothing. And that's what I like about this business. This business gives people the opportunity to create a living, to create a life, to create something where nothing existed. You could go out there with 20 bucks and turn that $20 into hundreds of thousands of dollars.
You used to be able to do that. Now with the serialization and the pairing and you have to buy an entire display assembly used because you can't buy LCDs new. wholesale anymore and all the stuff that's going on. Unfortunately, that is considerably less true now than it used to be. A video that I did a while back was that the lower rungs on the economic ladder are gone, and I'm specifically referring to the repair industry and how you used to be able to get parts that would allow you to do your job, and now it's getting more and more difficult to do so, and the only way that you can make that same amount of profit that I used to is by providing significantly more difficult to provide services that require equipment like what I have in the background that costs a ton more money than what I started with, which I find sad. Honestly, watching this video and realizing that what I said in 2014 does not hold true in 2023 is incredibly depressing to me, because, like, so much of this channel, my business, my life, my purpose was making it easy for other people to follow in my footsteps and kind of get a step up on that economic ladder for themselves without hiding it behind a paywall or anything like that. And the fact that in spite of that, it's actually harder now, it's kind of depressing. But continuing.
If you know what you're doing. That is what this business stands for to me. That is what I've done with this business. And that is why I don't get impressed when I read that somebody had $40,000 of credit card debt and that's how they started this business. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Anybody can do something if they borrow money.
Why are you doing 90s wrestling
the reason
shit
that you should not become a member of a franchise in the business of cell phone and laptop repair is that no franchise, no brand has done a good enough job at marketing, mine, iCracked, anybody's, that they are worthy of paying. You know, as a franchise that did do a good job?
Sad but true.
Subway. If I take 1,000 people and put them in a room, and I ask each one of these people, where can I buy a $5 footlong sandwich? I'll be damned if 999 out of that 1,000 don't say Subway.
I think this video was created prior to the Jared CSAM stuff. This did not age well.
Because Subway did that good a job of branding their business. But if I take 1,000 people and put them in a room, I'll be damn sure that at least 250 of them think that there's no option outside of Apple to fix their device. How many people have come to your store and said, I had no idea this existed. This is so amazing, I thought I would have to go to Apple. You know why that happened? Because none of us in this fucking industry have done a good enough job with our marketing and with our business to get everybody out there to understand that we exist. Not a single fucking business has done that job. Therefore, nobody deserves the right to take small portions of your money, because no franchisor in this business has created enough notoriety for us as a field, as a craft, to earn a percentage of our money.
I agree with 26-year-old me. I just really wish that he would turn off the music in the background and stop screaming like a lunatic.
Earn a referral fee,
Now I know what it feels like to watch my content.
That we buy all of our parts directly from them at asinine markups. The second reason is that their entire interface, their entire lead generation system is fucked the fuck up. Have you ever used this shit? Have you ever actually typed in a large populated city and just put in their website your address and phone number and email and seen what happens? I've tried it. I've gotten requests from 4 or 5 or 6 fucking people within an hour saying, hey, I'll fix your iPad. Hey, I'll fix your iPhone. Hey, where are you right now? Hey, I'm available. Hey, my name's James. Hey, my name's Dean. That is fucking creepy. Seriously, for 1 minute, I understood what Christy Brinkley must feel like if she logged into OkCupid and created a profile. Holy fuck, look at my inbox. Why are all these creeps messaging me? It's weird. When you message an independent company, you get a response from one person. When you message somebody at iCracked, you get responses from 5 or 6 people. So from the consumer end, this is weird, this is scary, this is creepy, why am I getting bombarded with messages? And from the technician's end, this is fucked up because you are actually paying. You are paying a fee for the right to compete with people. Guess what? I don't pay a fee for the right to compete with people. I compete with businesses around me every day. Every single day when somebody types something into Google and they search, they get bombarded with 5 or 6 different businesses that do what I do, and I don't pay for that privilege. Having to compete with people is fucking free. The reason you open a franchise-based business is because when you do that, there's not going to be another one right across the street. You don't see a Subway right across the fucking street from another Subway. But for some reason, you can have an unlimited amount of iTax in any specific region, which is fucked up because you are paying for the right to compete with others.
I still 100% stand by what I said here. However, you must take what this crazy man is saying with a grain of salt. Because within a few short years, the company that he's criticizing would be acquired by SquareTrade, which had been acquired by Allstate for a few $1 billion, I believe. So whereas my company shrunk, has less than half the employees now than it did 3 years ago, and had to move out of state. So one of these companies was run by somebody who was able to quickly turn it around and sell it to somebody else for a large sum of money and likely is set for life. And the other one is a moron that, yeah. So again, please do take this with a grain of salt.
You already compete with others. I compete with others. I do not wish to pay for the right to compete with others. And it's ridiculous. The other part that I dislike about any franchise, not just for iCracked, but any franchise in general, is that above all, you are not the owner of your success. Your success belongs to somebody else. So, if instead of building your own website and building your own fan base, let's say you try to build a business on eBay or Amazon, if you decide one day, I am not going to use Amazon, if one day your account gets banned from Amazon, you are fucked because your success belonged to Amazon. I've been there, I've done that. I've been at a point where I had 400 orders going out of my store every day.
This honestly hits harder now than it did back then because of all the things that Amazon has done to keep people from being able to sell refurbished things on their site. So I've had interviews with people like John Bumstead on this channel where we've went over how Amazon has stopped allowing people to sell refurbished devices on their site and how eBay is slowly starting to follow the lead of these companies. And I'll leave links to these two interviews down below. He's a really smart guy and I was really happy to have him on. So this is the interview that I had with John Bumstead, and this was the second interview I had with him about eBay. So I genuinely believe that I was on point about that. Because only several years later, people that were offering refurbished devices on these websites, they were just wiped out. If they had their own online store and they had built their own lead generation system and they had built out their reputation on their own, they were fine. If they were selling everything on Amazon, their business was literally shut off like that. Just like that.
eBay and Amazon. And when I decided to turn eBay and Amazon off, a good 367 of those belonged to eBay and Amazon. And when I decided to turn eBay and Amazon off, all of that success went with it. When you own your success, when your success is based on your business alone, it is more difficult to build it from the beginning, but it lasts, it sticks. Through the trying times, it is there, it is always there regardless of what you do. I own my repair company's success. For one example, I turned off AdWords last week. And I was paying at $1.6 or $7,000 a month in AdWords because we were getting a decent amount of business. I have a team of 3 people here, and in the past week that there's been no AdWords on, there's been $17,000 of gross sales in repair business alone. Walk-in repair business alone, $17,000. I don't have a store sign. I don't pay Yelp. I'm not a Yelp advertiser. You can see it on my page. I don't pay for shit. I don't even have a sign. I'm not in the Village Voice. I'm not in the New York Times. I don't pay for advertising. My advertising budget is $0. And in spite of it being $0, I still have a fuck ton of business. And that is because my success was earned each and every step of the way using my name, not somebody else's. So the cool part about owning my success at the age of 25 is that I can do whatever the fuck I want and say whatever the fuck I want, and my success doesn't go away. I can piss off a customer, and I don't like to piss off customers, but I can piss off a customer and I'm still gonna have business the next day. I can get penalized by Yelp and I can still have business the next day. I can have an eBay account deleted and who the fuck cares? Because I own my success. Not eBay, not iCracked, not CPR, not Amazon, not Google, not Yelp.
The music in the background is actually prophetic at the fact that as I was making the video and as the video continued that I was losing my mind. It's actually the perfect soundtrack to somebody who's losing their mind, which is probably why I was playing it.
I own it, and since I own it, it will be there until I decide I no longer want it. And when you use iCracked, instead of using yourself, you are building somebody else's dream. You're building somebody else's success. And I can understand that if you're opening a large restaurant. I can understand that if you're opening something in a field where it takes a lot of upfront investment, where it takes a lot of work. But again, the cool part about this business is that it takes nothing to start. If you want to start fixing iPhones tomorrow, all you need is the $23 to buy an iPhone screen and a couple of bucks for a screwdriver. That is all. You do not need jack shit from anybody else. You want branding? Don't use their branding. Use yours. Use your last name. Go to freelancer.com and find somebody to make a logo for you for $7 after you make $30 or $50 of profit off of your first iPhone repair. You want to use their website? Why do you want to use their website? iCrack's website refers customers to other technicians. Why do you want more customers referred to other technicians? At the very least, if you make a website.
This is incredibly good advice that nobody in their right mind would listen to because it's being delivered by a lunatic, a raging lunatic.
Like I had a website 5 years ago that had a table on it. It was green in background. It was all text and had a Microsoft Word table and with prices. That was it. But guess what? I owned it. And at the time, I was making $1,000 a week in net profit off of it because it was mine. It looked like shit, but why did I care? It was on the top of Google and it did well. It was mine. It did not refer other people's business. I did not have to compete with other people using the same fucking leads generation system using my website. And it worked for me. And I got business off it. And I pocketed 100% of the money that site made me, not 30 or 50 or 60% because I was paying a franchise. And you know what I did when I had more money? I had a better website made. I had a better social media presence made. And I got more business that belonged to me. I have something that I can actually sell. Can you sell your iCracked franchise to anybody? Fuck no!
This is the ultimate irony. Can you sell your iCracked franchise? No. But the owner of iCracked can sell their company to Square Trade and Allstate. You know who I can sell Rossmann Repair Group to? Nobody. Because nobody wants to buy this shit. I mean, that's karma. Like that's kind of, yeah, karma.
I could sell my business right now for easily over $1 million, but I don't.
What? To who? To who, you fucking moron?
I choose to stay in it. I choose to keep doing it because I like what I do. But I have the choice, if I wanted, to sell something that I own, which is different from trying to sell something.
Put down the Everclear, bro. Okay, like how drunk did I have to be to think that my business circa 2014 could have been sold for $1 million? I must have been wasted off of my rocker when I did this. Like, where's the Fireball bottle? There has to have been some Fireball and Everclear back there that I'm not seeing. I couldn't sell this business for $1 million now.
That you rent. When you rent your success, you cannot sell it when the time comes because you don't own it. This is a simple...
The principle is 100% true that I'm saying here. I genuinely believe in the principle of what I'm saying. The problem is that I'm using myself as an example, which completely discredits the actual principle, which is true.
Business to start. It's a very difficult business to stay in long term and deal with all the bullshit and expand, but to start, it's very, very simple. You do not need somebody else for this. Do not use somebody else for this. Do not get all googly-eyed and excited when you read articles on how the business is expanding and how they've hired 17 people and how they have big offices and how they're visiting England. Fuck that shit. Read about how they started with $10,000 of debt, then $40,000 of debt, then they got $150,000 investment, and they got this investment. Think about how much fucking debt they are in compared to the money they're making. Think of how much money they owe these investors. Think about how their business is based on selling parts. So who gives a fuck if sales are 40 million, because anybody who's a parts vendor knows that profits on parts are shit, especially when you owe a lot of money. Think about how your little business, how your crappy little business in the beginning that you're growing from nothing, owes nothing to anybody. How at any given time you are 100% owner of your success. You are 100% owner of your lead generation process, and how you can do what you want. You can say what you please, and you can choose your policies, and at no time do you have to answer to anybody. I am 25 years old, and I answer to no one. And I would have it no other
You answer to a bottle of Everclear, my friend. Clearly.
way. Thank God I did not become a member of a franchise. Thank God I own my success. Please do the same for yourself. Don't be lazy. Don't be scared. Start from wherever you are and build something that works for you. Build something that you own. Build something that nobody in this world can take away from you. Fuck iCracked. Hi, today I'd like...
So this is interesting because I've had this conversation with my boss. I do get to work directly for an actual billionaire that's invested in a bunch of cool stuff and who's also programmed a bunch of cool stuff that he made a lot of his money from programming cool stuff, and then he used that money to invest in other stuff. And like every now and then we'll talk about financial viability of things, or do you think that valuation's a little high? And he'll just have this giant smirk on his face and he'll go like, it's all bullshit. He just shakes his head and he's like, it's all bullshit. It's all ridiculous. It's all like, none of it makes any sense. It's all clown world. It's all BS. Like, you know, it's funny because like one of the things that, you know, he'll say is he invests in things that he doesn't like because it's like a hedge against the things that he doesn't like that he knows are going to wind up becoming really hyper successful and crazy. There are certain companies he's invested in whose products like he just would never fucking own because he hates them. And he just thinks to himself, because I hate this thing, it's probably going to become really effing successful because I hate it. And I think about that here. Like, I feel like I was slowly being driven crazy by this whole concept that you don't actually have to make money. Like if you grow your user base, if you grow your gross revenue, if you grow your office size, if you grow your employee size, or any of these things, those are the metrics that make you successful, rather than actual honest to God net profit and work getting done. And this is something that Eli, the computer guy, has talked about for like the last 8 years. And he's been talking about it a lot more over the last 4 to 5 years. It's just he would talk about it in a much more sane way, in a much more mature way, and a much less man that mixed Everclear with Fireball and then gets in front of his camera to scream in his fucked up apartment way. But that seems to be that stage of my life. I'll move on to the next iCracked video. Let's see if I was drunk in this one.
Part 2 of the series where I tell you not to become an iTech. And one of the things that I'm not really a big fan of are these little fake little looking press releases or things where somebody comes up with this little byline that sounds like exciting news and promotes it, when in reality it's really not that exciting. So what I want to talk about is this little...
Why am I talking like this? What the fuck is wrong with you? Put down the goddamn liquor. And also you have, at least I don't have the music on for this one.
Byline that says that, you know, that iCracked has made $6 million already. Oh my God! No.
I was 110% drunk in this video.
No. It's not that exciting. Let me explain it to you from what it says in the article. Because again, most people that post this stuff and repost this stuff and get all excited about this stuff don't actually read the content. And this never ceases to amaze me. So I'm going to read the contents. Again, a lot of the people that repost
That's
this
the
stuff,
ThinkPad right there, the T5.
Is that about this stuff and link me to it at 3.
That's the extended battery. The ThinkPads with the extended batteries are the shit. That thing is awesome. But since it has an extended battery, you could literally hold your laptop like this. That is based. That is awesome. You could hold your laptop with one hand and fucking read it while you're doing a video. T440p, baby, with modified T450 trackpad.
In the morning, saying, don't you think this is great? Admittedly, with a couple of winks and a nudge, wink, wink, you know, I'm kind of trying to screw with you kind of thing going on. Anyway, let's read what it says right over here. Top, iCracked technicians have made $6 million this year. Now let's scroll down a little bit, bringing the total to 1,000. To its roster, bringing the total to 1,000. Now let's do a little bit of basic math here. 1,000. Okay, so we have $6 million. We divide that by 1,000 people, and we get $6,000 per technician. So let's round it up here because we're at November. It's almost the end of the year. Let's assume again, unless that this number like quadruples for everybody within 2 weeks, that they make maybe 8,000 or 9,000. Let's round it up and just go crazy and say 10,000. $10,000 a year? Are you telling me that this is supposed to impress me? Are you saying that I'm supposed to want to sign up to work in a place where I am going to make $10,000 per year? Fuck no. And again, I don't want to give you the wrong idea. I don't want to give you the idea that I'm getting down on people who make less money than me. I'm not saying that I'm laughing.
I am most certainly 110% drunker in this video than the last video. 100%. But why? Why not just turn on the camera tomorrow when you're not drunk? Like, why? Why? Oh.
Because these people are making in a year what we make here in 3 days. I like seeing people start from nothing and build something for yourself. And if you're even making this much off of something that you built for yourself from nothing, more power to you. I'm here to help you. I'm here to encourage you. I'm here to cheer you.
I wonder if I watched a Dave Jones video before getting plastered and then did this video. I kind of think that would explain it. I love Dave Jones' stuff. God bless EV blog. But I have a feeling that I watched an EV blog rant video. I got wasted, and then for some reason, I just was stuck on Dave Jones mode. And then I did a video like this.
You want as you build whatever you're building from nothing, that is cool. What is not cool are these bullshit press releases disguised as news to make people think that a job that gets you $10,000 a year is impressive. I want you to be looking at when you look at crap like this, I want you to look past the surface. That's the point of this channel. Analyzing customer situations, analyzing vendor situations, analytical thinking, analyzing dead motherboards, and also analyzing news and business.
Analyze your fucking liver.
It is cool if you take $20 or $30 or $40 and turn it into an empire. That's cool. Do you know what's not cool? Getting loans for hundreds of thousands of dollars, creating debt for yourself so that you can start a company that empowers people to make $10,000 a year. And again, you may be...
Again, as I said, I feel like I was genuinely losing my mind at the fact that I just saw companies left and right that made no financial sense whatsoever, getting millions and millions of dollars, and people actually falling for it and going, oh my God, that's the best idea in the world. And here I'm just like sitting there like, oh yeah, let me just, like keep actually making a net profit and, like paying people a living wage and, trying to like not ever actually borrow money because I had no credit score back then and trying to keep rolling it into something and no money for you, sir. You mix that with like enough cynicism, liquor, no sleep, and you get this. You get a crazy ranting man. How the hell did this channel ever get to 1 million subscribers? Like I watch this stuff and I genuinely wonder because there is so much high quality content on YouTube. There's so much stuff on YouTube that is well put together. And every time I go back to my catalog from 2012 through 2014, it's all stuff like this. Like how? Who would willingly subscribe to this? What is wrong with you people? I usually don't insult the audience, but no offense, but what is wrong with you people? Don't you have anything else to watch? Don't you have anything else to do?
This is probably not even a net profit number. It's very difficult to figure out net profit. I can bet your ass they didn't ask all those thousands of iTechs for this article. How much did you spend on gas this year to go to your clients? How much did you spend on tools? What did you spend on this, that, and the other? When people quote these types of numbers, they're usually gross sales, not net profit. Again, I want you to be using analytical thinking. What is easier to quote? Gross sales or total sales that everybody have reported, or net profit, meaning I ask these thousands of people that work for me exactly how much money they spent in order to make this. And the other thing I want you to be thinking about is the business model. Their business model is not so much based on taking like 50% of what everybody makes. It's more based on upfront franchise. It's more based on an upfront fee and then on selling the parts to these people. And as all of us who are in this business know, unless you are iFixit and taking a $3 screw and selling it for $9,000 on your website with pretty pictures and videos, that there is not a lot of profit in part sales. So you take this gross figure that isn't really that impressive, again, when you divvy it up amongst 1,000 people, and you look at the business model of how they profit, and this is sad. Again, this is news. This is news for the opposite reason other than, wow, look at how amazing this is. This is news as in, man, maybe that guy who said I should build a business for myself was right. And again, it's impressive. It's cool when you take your $20 or $30 or $40 and you turn that into an empire. It's not cool when you borrow $40,000 to start a company that makes 10 or 20. It's not cool when you then borrow another $100 or $200 or $300,000 so you can hire dozens of people so that you can get people to make $10,000 a year. And again,
again, I don't disagree with this, but the way that this is presented, no sane or rational person is ever going to listen to it. And when you look back on the last 10 years and you look at how many companies exist that only existed, that only had fancy offices and hired all these people and did all these things so that they could demonstrate or pretend to investors that they were building something so that they could LARP like an actually profitable business, like whether it's WeWork or Vice or any of these other companies, like this makes sense. It's just, I could not have been worse at presenting it. And what I hope people get out of this if they're watching is with the advice that I've given early on, which is just start. Don't worry about whether the content you create is perfect, the camera is great. Because one of the things I notice with people who start YouTube content and try YouTube channels is they want to get things right. They want to get things perfect. They want to have a good logo. They want to have good editing, this, that, and the other. And the thing is, you're going to suck at whatever you do in the very beginning. But you can get rid of the suck. And the way you get rid of the suck is by getting it out of your system as fast as possible. And the faster you can get the suck out of your system, the faster you can get to the part where you're actually good at what you do. Now, many people watching this video may argue that I suck as much now at making videos and presenting myself as I did back then. But one of the reasons I think that when I go to state legislative houses, that my testimony is clear and concise and doesn't put people to sleep and is fairly on point, and the reason that I'm fairly decent at public speaking is not because I took classes on it. It's not because I'm very good at it naturally. It's because I allowed myself to make a complete and utter ass out of myself for several years, both at work and in my house, whether I was drunk or whether I was sober, whether I was happy or whether I was sad. Every single day I'd step in front of the camera and do something. And again, for the first 3 years of content, it was mostly like this. It was trash. It was just like, there's just no other way to put it. This is trash. But you get better at it as you continue to do something, and you have to be willing to suck at it, and you have to be willing to get that suck out of your system. The problem with getting the suck out of your system is that people will see you during those stages where you're kind of floundering, and for some people that's awkward or embarrassing. And then again, there are other people that have no sense of shame or dignity that don't really care.
And that's the part that I don't like. It's the same reason that I'm not a big fan of Groupon. They're calling people up in small shops like us up saying, you should run a Groupon. This is a great time to run a Groupon. All you have to do is take 50% off of your prices, and then off of the small share that you give 50% of that to us. And I go, well, gee, how am I supposed to make money off of that? And they go, well, we make money off of that. And then I'll go, wait, well, no, you don't. You actually lost $5 million last year. And then they'll like hang up on me because I was being a wise ass. But I wasn't being a wise ass. I was being serious. I align myself with people who are successful. I align myself with people who seem to actually have a long-term business model that works. This model does not work. This business model is advertising, silly press releases, pretty website, and lots of debt. And that is not what you should build for yourself. That's not what you should get involved in. You should start with a business model that does not involve debt, that does not involve being involved with people who get themselves into this sick debt. I feel bad for the hole that these people are going to be in 5, 7, 10 years from now when I'm off on some kind of tropical island that I've bought off of all the money I've made off of this. And
I'm calling other people delusional, and I think that I'm going to be on a tropical island. Oh, I guess Round Rock, Texas in the summer could be a tropical climate.
And they are stuck looking at Chase and Bank of America and Capital One like, yeah, so about that money we owe you. I don't know. You tell me what you think, but yeah, $6 million. Again, $6 million. Wow, $6 million. It's cool. Do the math. Look at how their business model works. It's not cool. It doesn't matter. I don't care. And neither should you. Unless you're an iTech, that is. In which case, I will be running away to start my own business before theirs fails.
Company sold Squarespace, SquareTrade, whatever the fuck, for a lot more than my company's worth. I don't know. I found this funny. Watching 25-year-old me was kind of funny. I may do this again sometime. When I can stomach it. Ugh. Well, lesson here. You're going to suck when you first try to do something. Get the suck out of the way. Embrace the suck. I think the same thing applies to board repairs here. You look at my early board repair videos, they're bad. They're very, very bad. Pretty good at it now. Damn good at it now, actually. Trained an entire team that's really good at it now. We have best ratings in the industry doing what we do. It all starts with being okay and being comfortable knowing that when I try to do this, I am going to suck. I'm going to make an ass of myself. I'm going to do it anyway. That's it for today, and as always, I hope you learned something. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye now.